Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and welcome to the Brian Tracy Show. I'm here today with a remarkable man who's developed a unique system to help you improve your financial situation better and faster than you may have ever thought possible. Welcome, Gary Sipos. Thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Tracy. It's a pleasure.
Tell us some of the things that you're doing. Some of the great things you're doing.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm in the financial services business, but with a very unique approach. And my unique approach is I use financial processes to help people identify when they have losses. And these are losses that are unknown and unnecessary. And then we take those losses and we put it back into their lifestyle and help them improve their lifestyle and help them improve their retirement.
Okay, give us an example of that, please.
Oh boy, there's many. So college cost reduction, and its financial processes to reduce your college costs, or financial processes for capital purchase like weddings or cars or even homes. Yeah. And there's other financial processes about taxation. So for example, converting an IRA to a Roth IRA, that's usually taxable. Yes. Well, believe it or not, there's financial processes sanctioned by the government where you can do that conversion tax-free.
Huh.
Yeah, so there's tax capital gains if you sell a house or a highly appreciated stock. We work with families to help them pay those capital gains optionally. So did you know that capital gains can be optional?
I had no idea.
And there's other processes too. Let's see, there's, the process of how you fund your retirement plans.
Right.
Processes of how you take money out of your retirement plans.
Right.
And these are not the products, it's not the mutual funds. These are financial processes that people don't know about. And they have a big impact. Or like mortgage process, the process of how you pay your mortgage is significant. And it's not the mortgage you choose, it's financial process of how you pay your mortgage. And it can save years off of your mortgage if you do it the right way.
Wow, so this is where they say what you don't know can hurt you.
Absolutely, yes.
And most people are financially literate, so.
There you go.
Yeah.
I agree.
Tell me, what is your vision or mission for your business? Why did you get into this business, and what do you want to accomplish in the long term?
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's an excellent question. What we want to do in the long term is, reach as many families as we can and help them become secure in their retirement. So many families hit retirement, and let's say they spend so much on college, and parents will sacrifice their financial lives, their retirement, to pay for college. And then later on, they find out they become a burden to their kids, or they become dependent on the government, or and so that's just a horrible situation. And so by working with us, we can help them become independent and and have confidence in their retirement. And so that's why we're so excited about what we do every day.
That's wonderful. And I talk to my audiences, and I say that the whole purpose of working throughout your life is to reach the point where you never have to work again.
There it is.
And to be financially independent. And most people think the purpose of working is to provide for current lifestyle. And so I say you've got to start thinking well in advance. You have to start thinking about where you want to be at the end of your career.
Very good.
And then start to work back to the present, reverse engineer, we say it, and then start taking the steps today to get there. The thing I say is it's not going to happen by itself. You're not going to become financially independent and retire dependent all by itself. So you're going to have to do a lot of things.
Right. Yeah, and the sooner you start, the better.
Yeah, so there are, surprisingly enough, other people in your industry.
There are.
So what makes you better, superior, a better choice than anyone else? What's your special area of expertise?
Right. Okay, well, I can give a couple examples. So typically, what most people think of a financial advisor is somebody that can choose great stocks.
Yes.
But a lot of times, that comes with higher risks and things of that nature. And so, but the thought is, if you have a higher rate of return, you get more money, and that's great. And that's where most are. We, again, we're over in the financial process part of the world, which is a little bit unique. There's not too many of us out there, I would say. And so I believe we can be greater service to our clients, that if we can help them identify their financial processes where they're unknowingly and unnecessarily losing money, and then redirect it back to them. And I could give you a couple of examples.
Yeah, why don't you give us my next question would be, give us an example of someone who was here in terms of their financial organization in life, and then as a result of going through your processes, they came out here.
Okay,
and
great.
It's really made a distinct difference in their lives.
Oh my, yeah, that's pretty easy. All right, so I'll give you two examples.
Please.
So in one case, it had to do with parents, grandparents. So his grandparents came in, And they said, we have this beautiful baby, his name is Johnny, and they're holding him in his hands, and they said, we want to create a college fund for him. And so, of course, most of the lenders say, well, of course, a 529 plan. And 529 plans are great while you're putting money in and they grow tax-free. And the sexy thing about them is, the money comes out tax-free. So that's marketed heavily. Unfortunately, what is not known well is that when they hit college, it can turn into a train wreck. And I'll explain what that means. So little Johnny, 18 years later, the grandparents put money in a 529.
Right.
And then 18 years later, Johnny gets into college and he gets a $15,000 scholarship. So that's wonderful. And then grandma and grandpa, they take $20,000 out and they give it to the college. Well, that's wonderful too, out of their 529 plan. But then the financial aid department, they make note of that. And next year they say, per the Department of Education codes written by Congress, we need to subtract 50 cents on the dollar from that outside scholarship called Grandma and Grandpa, that 529 plan. And so that means next year, instead of little Johnny getting a $15,000 scholarship, he'll get a $10,000 scholarship. So Grandma and Grandpa, by helping out their grandchild, actually hurt him financially.
Right.
And so what we do, then we say, hey, there's a better train track. Instead of getting on that train track, there's other financial processes you can get on where Grandma and Grandpa can pay for college, pay that $20,000 again, freshman year, and it will not take away money from scholarships at the school per the Department of Financial Aid. They have these codes that's much bigger than these books, these codes, and it's written by Congress. And a lot of them don't make a lot of sense.
Right.
Yeah, but like for that, grandma and grandpa contribute to your college and they penalize you for it.
Right.
Or another one is if little Johnny mows lawns and babysits and maybe works at McDonald's and saves money for college, they penalize him for that too. And so we show people financial processes where you can work yourself, be responsible, yet not get penalized and have your scholarships removed from you.
Okay, now, so can you give it as an example of someone who came to you and as a result they were better off, as opposed to a general, just somebody very specific example?
I can think of this one beautiful lady. Her name is Martha.
Right.
And Martha came to see me, and she's retired. Her situation was she's retired, and her kids were grown. Unfortunately, her husband passed away, and she had these 5 accounts. And one account was a Roth, another account was an IRA, another account was just a regular, depository account at some financial institution. Right. She had some CDs, some bonds, and her question to me was, I'm living on this much money a year, and when will my money run out? And so, and actually it's not that difficult of calculation to do. So we ran the math, and the math said, okay, well, unfortunately, when you're 87, you're out of money. And in the way you're doing it, and the rates of returns you're getting, and the tax treatments and everything else at 87. So now she has some choices. And typically what most financial advisors would say is, okay, well, you can reduce your standard of life. Maybe, Martha, you should turn the heat on in the winter only every other week. And every other week, you're a little bit cold. That's not a good answer. Or maybe, eat bologna sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the rest of your life. That's lowering your standard of living. Not great answers. No. Another idea is, okay, well, let's get you into some other investments that have much higher rates of return possibilities, but also have much higher risks. So, and if you get that high rate of return and you're really lucky, then great, your money will last much longer, but, maybe next year if the market corrects, you lose it all. Another, not a good answer. So what did we do? Well, we went to financial processes again. And so it's a pretty simple one, actually. We ran an algorithm, an optimization algorithm, and there's the 5 accounts, and we kept all those accounts the same. So the Roth is still the Roth, the IRA is still the IRA. The regular custodial account is just the custodial account, and she's kept, we kept all the rates of returns the same. So everything's the same as scenario A and scenario B. The only difference was we ran an optimization algorithm on her withdrawal methodology. So that's a financial process. So in the first case, I asked her, how did you take your money out? She said, account 1 first, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But after we ran the algorithm, it said, take the money out of, and then scenario A, when she took it out of account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's when her money ran out at 87, age 87. Now in the second scenario, it said, take the money out not in account 1 first, but 4 first, then 3 second, 5 third, 1 fourth, and 2 last. And if she did that, she just changed the order, then her money lasted well beyond 100 years of age.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, and that's what she said. And actually, there was a box of Kleenex, and she started crying. You know, lots of stress out of her eyes.
She could never figure that out for herself.
Oh no, yeah.
That's
So,
wonderful. I mean,
yeah.
that's what they call doing great work in the world.
Thank you. Yeah, that's quite a compliment coming from you.
Thank you. So how can people get a hold of you if they'd like to use your services?
Oh yeah, that's pretty easy. So they just go to my website, www.sipos Financial. My name's Gary Sipos.
SIPOS.
Yeah, SIPOS, correct. And so siposfinancial.com, and all my contacts information there, my phone number. There's even a book a meeting button. You hit a button and you can, get a meeting with a teleconference or face-to-face. Yeah, so it's pretty easy.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
This has
Thank
been
you.
a great discussion.
Thank you.